Shalom, shalom. Lala Tov, and welcome everyone once again to Shabbat Night Talk. My name is Uzi Alewi, and I'm glad to be here with you, and I'm glad that you're here with me tonight. Started out a few minutes late, but nonetheless we're here, hoping and praying that the Most High King of the universe continue to be with us all, guide and protect us, save us, keep us. It's very important that we praise His high and holy name in truth and in righteousness. Thanking the Creator for life, food, clothing, and shelter. Thanking the Creator for the life of all of you. I just want to give glory unto this great King for my life, for the life of all of you, and for just being able to glorify His name. Just give me a second here, because I really should have done this. Like, I'm always like at the last minute sharing this stuff throughout all the pages that I'm affiliated with or associated with, and so I'm kind of distracted. I can't multitask. I can't do two things at the same time. So therefore, if it sounds like I'm distracted, it's because most likely I am distracted doing something else. I need an assistant. I have an assistant, but he's still pretty young, so he's pretty good too. So I don't know if I'm going to share this on every page that I'm affiliated with. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. And y'all could share these links also in interesting pages that you might feel might want to take a listen to us. Thing is, these pages have a lot of people on them, and you kind of want to get the message out to everyone. So little 5 minutes that it takes for me to do that, I guess it's worth it. But like I said, giving glory to the Most High King, creator of heaven and earth. Thanking your whole King for life, food, clothing, and shelter. Thanking Him for knowledge of self. Thanking Him for understanding. And thanking Him for all the things that He provides for us through everything that we do. And we ask the Creator to continue to bless us and keep us. Okay, let me see here. Let me just check something here real quick for all my peoples in the building. Forgive my attire for tonight. My ripped up shirt is good. I feel comfortable. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Marsha Yisrael, we continue to pray for you, my sister. in your time of loss and your time of mourning. It's always difficult to lose a loved one, but the Most High strengthens us. Servant of Yahweh, Shabbat Shalom. Avared Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Chana Lewi, Shabbat Shalom. Hebrew woman too, Shabbat Shalom. Kaskuya Bat Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Marsha Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. Dina, my sister, Dina Yisrael, Shabbat Shalom. BLESS, Shabbat Shalom. And I got Hebrew woman too already. We thank the Most High King for our lives. We hope and pray that Yahweh continue to be with us and bless us. Continue to provide us with food, clothing, and shelter. And that Yahweh continue to inspire us as His people. Yeah. People join me right away. Y'all came on kind of quick. Usually it takes a while to build up. I guess everybody is geared up. The sun is going down a little bit earlier. A couple of things happened this week, and I just wanted to intertwine them with Torah. So tonight's topic is, should we stand for the national anthem? And I mean, the title would have been longer, but YouTube does not allow me to write a title as long as I wanted to write. So is should we stand for the national anthem, and is it against Torah? Because I always try to connect it with the Torah, because that's what, Shabbat night is about. Is, we open up, we talk about Torah, but sometimes the events of the week coincide with what we want to talk about. And I believe that Shabbat is a time where we could reflect on things that happened throughout the week, talk about some of the things that happened, and always bring them back to the connection with the Most High, because ultimately that's what governs our lives. Torah governs our lives, and it's important for us to put Torah in everything, but as well as acknowledging the works of God and the things that's going on around us and that surround us. So question is, should we stand for the national anthem? And what I'm going to do is kind of open up the phones. I want you to make a connection between Torah and what's going on, because a lot of things came out this week. There were a few things that we could talk about in reference to the national anthem, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, because that's what sparked the conversation. If you don't know who Colin Kaepernick is, he's a football player who actually stood up against the whole he made a stance against everything that's going on in society. So at this time, I actually have a video of it on my page. I would like to share it, but I don't know if some of you might get offended because it's Shabbat, and he's not saying anything negative. He's just speaking about the the violence and stuff like that. So I'll take a poll. If you guys want to hear what he said, just let me know. If you think that is not appropriate, then let me know, and I could stop that. So servant of Yahweh said, with what I know how of it all now, I would say no. How many here serve in the military is actively serving now? I'm not sure how many people are in the military or actively serving. So as a child growing up, I didn't stand for the song because I'm a Hebrew Israelite and not an American. Teachers did not make me stand even when others tried to get me in trouble. Well, I wouldn't stand for the national anthem because America did a lot of messed up stuff back then. Okay, so We all have our convictions, but now let's tie it in with Torah. If an Israelite brother or sister was to decide to stand up for the national anthem, would they be wrong? And how can we prove that with Torah? We all had the same teachings from the Knesset that we come from the temples, from if you was quote unquote black Jew synagogue. For most part, well, I'm not sure if everybody had this teaching, but I know in most Israelite congregations or camps, it was more of a, we was against all that, standing up for the national anthem or anything like that. But is there really something against it? The Pledge of Allegiance, it's a little bit different, right? Because you're pledging your allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and for the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, which is a false, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I remember it. I still remember it. We had to recite it every morning. Daniel didn't stand in Babylon, but Daniel, what they wanted Daniel to do was bow down to a statue. You mean Daniel did not bow down to the statue? I believe that's what you're referring to. That's something different. All right. I want to go to I want to play a little devil's advocate, for lack of a better word. I mean, I don't believe in devils, but when I say devil's advocate, you understand what I mean. And I want us to go to, I'll tell you all right now, my peoples, because I like to have these conversations. It's very interesting. Let us go to the book of Jeremiah 29:7. Let's see what that says. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 7. Now, give me 1 second here as I'm going to just block the camera real quick as I go get my reading glasses, because I need them. Okay, I'm back. I didn't got my reading glasses, so let's see here. Where's the book at? No, I have the book somewhere around here. Here it goes. Put it right behind me. So Jeremiah 29, verse 7. Let's see what it reads. So here we go. Like I said, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here. Verse 7. Now, this particular chapter is about Jeremiah. Jeremiah speaking to the exiles of Babylon. The letter that he sent to the exiles of Babylon. The people that were exiled to go into captivity in Babylon. The Israelites. So 29 verse 7 reads, all right, let's read it from the beginning. It reads, "These are the words of the letter that the prophet Jeremiah sent from Jerusalem to the remaining elders among the exiles, and to the priests and the prophets and all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had taken into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. This was after King Jeconiah and the queen mother, the court officials, the leaders of Judah and Jerusalem, the artisans and the smiths had departed from Jerusalem. The letter was sent by the hand of Elisah, son of Shaphan, of Gemariah, son of Hilkiah, whom King Zedekiah of Jehudah sent to Babylon to King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. It said, Thus says Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, to all the exiles whom I have sent into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build houses and live in them, plant gardens and eat what they produce. Take wives and have sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons. Give your daughters in marriage, that they may bear sons and daughters. Multiply there and do not decrease. But seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to Yahweh on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the God of Yisrael, do not let the prophets and the diviners who are among you deceive you, and do not listen to the dreams that they dream. For it is a lie that they are prophesying to you in my name. I did not send them, says Yahweh." Ooh, Chief Uzal, where you got that one from? Chief Uzal, are you reading from the Tanakh? Chief Uzal, are you making stuff up? Chief Uzal, why are you coming at us like that? I'm not coming at y'all. I'm just little food for thought. What do you think about that verse? The number is 347-622-9090. Once again, 347-622-9090. I'm taking calls early. Taking calls early and often today. What do you think about Colin Kaepernick's protest? What do you think about his protest not standing up for the national anthem? I want to hear from you tonight. I know you have a lot to say. The number is 347-622-9090. Come on, people. I know y'all there. Y'all want to talk about this topic. 347-622-9090. Football player for the San Francisco 49ers said, "I'm not standing up for the national anthem because of all the social injustices." In fact, let me go ahead and play that video. I mean, it's pretty short. Let me find it so that... Oh, we got a call here from the caller from Georgia. Let's see what the caller from Georgia has to say. Shalom, shalom, and who am I speaking to? Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Chief?
I'm great. All right, so talk to me. Let me know what's going on.
Well, me personally, I have no problem with it. I think it's outstanding, and I'm a veteran, so I don't ever have any problem with it. Really, anybody that listens to what this protest is about should understand he has the right to do it, and that's what the military is about, as they say, to fight for our rights to do these things. So really, the people that are attacking him are so upset with him, they're actually anti what they're saying the service was about anyway.
Okay. So you're saying that you being an ex-military person, you have no qualms with him sitting down during the singing of the national anthem. There's no problem with you.
There's no problem with it because we fought for him to have that right to do such. And plus, it's not a smack in our face because he already said it don't have anything to do with the military. He was very direct in what he said his protest is about, and everybody's twisting it and getting away from the purpose. So even if it was about us, he still would have had the right to do it.
Okay, but then...
He has the right to protest.
Absolutely. By, the American Constitution, you have the freedom of press. You have the right to have your grievances and your own opinion. But what do you think about in terms of an Israelite who goes into a ball game and stands up for the national anthem and puts his right hand across his heart, is he in violation of Torah, or would you frown upon that person for doing that?
Well, as an out Torah, every time anything in there as a hit to see where it's in violation of it, but I wouldn't do it because one thing is the current state of this nation, it doesn't reflect the high standard of what that anthem is supposed to be about. And plus, actually, the anthem wasn't written with us in mind anyway. It's actually against us since we know about the third verse. And I never even knew it was the third verse to it.
That's something that we gotta that I'm gonna bring up a little bit later. The full version of the national anthem. But at the beginning, I wanted to play a little devil's advocate and see how y'all was swinging with the national anthem. Okay, so that's great. You say that the brother has all the right in the world to sit down. That that's the freedom that you guys who were in the military fought for him to have those freedoms, and that you don't believe that Israelites should be standing up during the national anthem, although it's not against Torah. You just feel that the conditions of this nation and our conditions here really should not allow us to stand up and honor this great nation called America. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's my final answer.
Okay, my brother. Good hearing from you.
Shalom, you too.
Shalom. Y'all heard it from my brother, Yael. The number is 347-622-9090. Give me a call. 347-622-9090 for everyone. Be the next caller. Chime in. I'm going to try to find that video. We'll try to find that video for you with that athlete. Try to see. We got all the usual suspects calling in. Shalom, shalom, and who am I speaking to?
You speaking to Ima BINAH. I'm red.
How you doing? How you doing, Ima?
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
I was just listening to the verses that you read in Jeremiah.
Right.
And what I get from that is the Father wants us to try to continue to prosper in these lands among the own people, because He has not told us to go into the other nations and all that. But He's saying that we can also pray for the welfare of the country because we're in the country. But that doesn't mean that we're supposed to align ourselves with any kind of wrongdoing. So those are two different things. We have to have discernment in everything that we do.
Okay.
So when we're talking about the national anthem, if we know that this country is partaking in all kinds of wicked things and doing things that they should not be doing, then we should not be in alignment with that. That's my opinion of the Torah. So, because above all, Yah's righteousness and good. So.
Okay, Ima, but all right. So I could say this: Babylon was not the most righteous nation in the world, and the Most High told us, build houses, have children, give your daughters away, and pray for the welfare of the nation. And we know what Babylon was.
Right. He told us to what? To survive.
Okay.
He's telling us to survive in those nations. He's telling us to continue to prosper the best we can and have children and to do all the things that we need to do amongst each other so that we can survive. That's what I'm getting from that. He's not saying go in and participate in any of going on in those nations. He's telling us to continue to survive in those nations, continue to try and thrive, so that we can return to Him. Don't get over there and just give up. So pray for the nation, pray for the good of the nation, so that you can partake in some of the goodness in that nation. I can understand that. We're supposed to pray for the
Okay, but the now, all right. I'm just playing a little devil's advocate here. The national.
I agree with you. I have no problem, but I'm just sharing my opinion.
Yeah, but I'm just saying here. I just want to run something by you. You know what's wrong with "Oh say can you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hail at the starlight last gleaming." What's wrong with that? The home of the free and the land of the free and the home of the brave. We have many we have many black soldiers that died fighting for this country. Shouldn't we at least honor them? Shouldn't we at least stand up to represent them and honor them that they gave their life for this country?
Okay, now let's go back and let's deal with just what you said. What's wrong with the land of the free and the home of the brave? In this country, I have a relative, more than one, who has fought in every conflict that they've ever had, ever since the 1600s. I have a relative that has been in every conflict. Okay, so that's okay, but that does not mean that I'm free. They fought in those conflicts. They came home and had more trouble than they had before they went in a lot of cases. So we have to be honest about what we actually have. What they had, when they made that, they didn't make that for us. They made that for themselves. And if a person wants to do it, that's fine. I'm not saying that, it's discernment. The person has to decide for themselves. But for me, I will not stand up for that. Our people never did go and pledge to become citizens in this country. We were never asked to do that. And we never received citizenship according to what's written in the Constitution. So, again, it's discernment. Because the Father's telling us to survive in the country, have children, keep the numbers growing. Does not mean that he's telling us to align ourselves with that, because it hasn't prospered us, as far as I'm concerned. That's just where I get from it. And the land of the free and the home of the brave, we might be brave, but we ain't free.
Okay, Ima. Nice hearing from you.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, I know somebody else was trying to call. The number is 347-622-9090. I see somebody from Florida tried to call. Let me see. I'm going to call them back because I missed their call. See, what show you know? What show you know? Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Yes, shalom.
Shalom. Yes, Ima. Before we start, turn down your computer in the background. Turn the volume down. So you don't get no feedback.
Okay, let me get out of that. All right, is that good?
That's great. Who am I speaking to?
My name is Mahata.
Mahata. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
All right.
I'm turning it down again. I have turned it down. Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah. You go ahead. If you have some thoughts on tonight's topic, you're more than welcome to.
Topic, I think that as a Torah obedient and living to Torah, you do not stand for a country or a national anthem that displays injustice and lack of love and kindness to anyone.
Okay.
And on the other hand, as Israelites, we must buy houses and we must marry according to the laws and commandments that we're given. Israel must not be depleted. We must grow. But we cannot do the things that we were thrown off the land for. We don't just start marrying anyhow. We have to keep the commandments, especially now that we know this is why we're here in this country.
Okay.
You must respect it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Ima. There you have it. 347-622-9090. 347-622-9090. Let's hear what the young brother had to say. I'm going to play it. Those of you that don't want to hear it, just mute your volume. I don't think it's that bad. I think it could be played today because it's something that has to do with a social issue and it affects us right at this time. So give me 1 second here. 1 second here. As I find it, first let me share a screen. Here it goes. Share. Present to everyone. And here we go.
Realize what's really going on in this country. There are a lot of things that are going on that are unjust, people aren't being held accountable for, and that's something that needs to change. That's something that, this country stands for.
The hot button issue of the weekend. Colin Kaepernick refusing to stand during the national anthem because, quote, I'm not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. He was emphatic that he wanted to get a message out there, and he wanted to let the world know that he's all in for the stance he's taking and why he's taking it.
Everyone has the right to stand or not stand, so that was his right.
I think you have to stand up there with your team and understand that what's going on around the country is bigger than just you.
It's a story transcending sports and dividing fans. Colin Kaepernick's stance against America and the national anthem. And Sunday, the Niners quarterback defended his position. Welcome to SportsCenter alongside Lisa Kearney. I'm Kevin Connors.
Kaepernick owned his actions, saying his decision was meant as a form of protest over the treatment of black people and people of color in the United States. The quarterback added this issue is bigger than football and backed his statements when speaking with the media earlier on Sunday.
Ultimately, it's to bring awareness and make people, realize what's really going on in this country. There are a lot of things that are going on that are unjust, people aren't being held accountable for, and that's something that needs to change. That's something that, this country stands for freedom, liberty, justice for all, and it's not happening for all right now. There's a lot of things that need to change. One specifically is police brutality. There's people being murdered unjustly and not being held accountable. Cops are getting paid leave for killing people. That's not right. If we have these real conversations that are uncomfortable for a lot of people, if we have these conversations, there's a better understanding where both sides are coming from. And if we reach common ground and can understand what everybody's going through, we can really affect change and make sure that everybody's treated equally and has the same freedom. The support I've got from my teammates has been great. I think a lot of my teammates come from areas where this might be a situation. Their families might be put in this situation. It's something that I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, I really respect you for what you're doing and what you're standing for. I'll continue to sit. I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed. To me, this is something that has to change. And when there's significant change, and I feel like that flag represents what it's supposed to represent, and this country is representing people the way that it's supposed to, I'll stand.
And Kaepernick maintains he will continue his protests, will not stand during future national anthems. According to the league, the quarterback is not in violation of any rules, saying they encourage players to stand during the playing of the national anthem, but they're not required to do so. However, other NFL players and coaches are speaking out against Kaepernick's actions, calling them shameful and demanding respect.
Okay.
Realize what's...
Okay, so there you have it. For those of you that might have not heard it, I hope you didn't get offended by me playing that, but I just wanted to let y'all see it, hear it. The conviction that he spoke with. Most members do not do anything for the piece of cloth. They fought for themselves and their brothers at arms because they were sent in a war zone. My personal opinion. Okay. I'm just, I get you, my personal opinion. I get you. But, I just wanted to see what y'all thought about it. If it's a So the consensus is not against Torah, but people have strong convictions on standing up for something that do not stand for our rights as Israelites, do not represent Torah in any way, form, or fashion. Right? Our ancestors, Althea McLean, Shalom, my sister, our ancestors were put in a furnace for not bowing down. The only thing now is they want you to stand. Right. So I'm not sure I feel what you say, just stand and and don't make a big deal about it, or you're saying to sit down. Make it clear to me, my sister. So like what I'm saying is, we as Israelites, and this is the reason why we are trained and taught not to. This flag is a big deal to them. Yes, it is. Now, let me give you a little history about the history that I know. Francis Scott Key, I believe, was the one who penned the national anthem. And the story behind the national anthem goes as follows. I might be a little bit off. I believe the United States of America won its independence from, now y'all could fact check me and correct me as I go along. I believe 1776. Revolutionary War, 1776, July 4th, 1776. America wins its independence from the motherland, from the crown, from Great Britain. Now y'all fact check me because I could be a little bit off. I believe the national anthem, now I'm asking y'all to fact check me because I don't like to give wrong information, but my mind might be a little bit off. I believe the national anthem was penned in 1809 or 1814 by Francis Scott Key. I want y'all to fact check me, help me out here. So I know that somebody put a copy of the original copy of the national anthem underneath here. And I'm going to read it to you. Now, somebody did put the full versions here. And that's what I'm trying to find right now. And you know what's funny? This is funny. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And I know I did not erase these messages. But the sister who did put the full version of the Star Spangled Banner, she has two messages here. She makes sure she put them up here twice. Ms. McCallan, Lady D, Slicker. Celebration of Slavery. While the first verse of the Star Spangled Banner is widely known by the American public, the last three verses are generally omitted in performances. Here are all four verses as they were written 200 years ago by Key. And that's where it ends. Underneath there, she had the whole Star Spangled Banner. And somehow YouTube removed it. Wow. That's conspiracy theory for you. Let's see if I can find it online. Full version of the Star Spangled Banner lyrics. Let's see here. Oh, how convenient. All right, so I'm going to share this screen with y'all. and we could read it together, and you could tell me what you think. Because that's what we hear, man. We family. We share. The topic is would it be against Torah for us to stand up for the Star-Spangled Banner for the national anthem? Is it Torah-like? Now, I read a verse in Jeremiah chapter 27, verse 9. I want to reiterate that verse so that everybody knows that we are in Torah, but we also like to talk about little current events. So it says, you therefore must not listen to your prophets, your divine. No, verse. What is it? 29 verse 7. I'm bugging out. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 7. It reads, but seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to Yahuwah on his behalf, for in his welfare you will find your welfare. That's what the Most High God told us through the prophet Jeremiah when we went into exile into Babylon under King Nebuchadnezzar, to pray for that city, to have children there, as it reads on. So now, remember that number is 347-622-9090 if you want to call in and chime in on what was said. But in the meanwhile, at the same time, we're going to go through the Star-Spangled Banner, the original version. All right, so here we go. Y'all can see that nice and clear, right? Y'all can see that nice and clear. I know you can. Make it a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. Here we go. Complete version of the Star-Spangled Banner showing spelling and punctuation from Francis Scott Key's manuscript in the Maryland Historical Society collection. Now, the story goes that Francis Scott Key, he was a young lawyer. Fact check me, please. I believe 1814. All right, let me see how my fact check is, how they check me. See how they fact check me. All right, 1814, Francis Scott Key. Thank you. So now, I'm good there. I'm still screen sharing. Let me go back to the lyrics. Here we go. So now, the story goes as such, as I remember it. Francis Scott Key was a young lawyer. He, America won its independence, Revolutionary War, 1776, I believe. Quote me on that. Fact check me. I'm not that well versed in American history like that, but I remember some things. The British weren't too happy with that, so still was some rift, there was some beef. So 1814, 1809, something like that, the British came, 1814, the British came back to Washington, D.C. They started bombing this fort. Francis Scott Key was a young lawyer. The British were right outside the bay, and the bay in Maryland, I believe. They had hundreds of ships ready to attack Washington, D.C. in the Maryland area. Young Francis Scott Key, he was going to negotiate the release of prisoners because the British had taken prisoners from the American mainland. So they had them imprisoned on ships right outside the bay. So Francis Scott Key goes to the ships where they have these people in prison, and he's trying to negotiate to get each one of the prisoners out one by one. Exchange of prisoners, so forth and so on. So the British commander who was in charge told him, "Don't worry, all the prisoners will be released." Shortly, by tomorrow. But there was a fourth, I forgot the name of the fourth, and it had an American flag flying high, and the British wanted, the British were embarrassed. 50 years prior, 40 years prior, they lose to this new country, to this new nation that they felt like they birthed, And now, you know, they out to exact some revenge. So they start bombing this fourth. This is how the story goes, quote unquote. They start bombing this fourth. They start bombing this fourth. They really want to knock down this flag, you know, but in all stories being told, there's always some embellishing. But supposedly they bombed this fourth all night long. And in the morning, guess what was still standing? The American flag, you guessed it. So, thus, Francis Scott Key penned this song. Now, this is the complete version. In modern time, it's been shortened to one verse because of the controversy of one of the verses, and it's just kind of too long, so I guess they decided to shorten it. So it says, complete version of Star Spangled Banner showing spelling and punctuation from Francis Scott Key's manuscript in the Maryland Historical Society collection. Oh, say can you see? Now, this is written in Old English. Some of us might understand it. I might understand some words, some things I might not understand. So remember the story that I tell you. So the Star Spangled Banner is going to make much sense to you after we read it. And it's good to know history. I'm always a proponent to, before we criticize something, and I've just learned that in the last few years, that before you criticize something, study it, know what you're criticizing, and try to, you know, and try to find out what's going on. Give me 1 second here. So here we go. Y'all can read along with me. I don't start singing it now. Don't start getting all patriotic, but we just doing this for understanding, okay? Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light, right? Remember, they bombed this fourth all night. So now he's speaking about what he's seen in the morning, right? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. So what they held was the flag. Remember, the Star Spangled Banner is about the flag. Whose broad stripes and bright stars, the stars and stripes, through the perilous fight, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Remember, there was a fight. They were bombing the fourth. There was a fight. Or ere the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming. Says, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air. So remember, the British were bombing the fourth, right? And the red glare from the rockets were bursting in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Meaning the flag stood up even through all the bombing, and they were trying to knock the flag down. That's how the legend or the story goes. Oh, say does that Star Spangled Banner yet wave, right? He's saying that even because he was, remember, he was on the ship watching as it was happening, and in his, you know, inspiration, it caused him to write this song because of what he saw, you know. So even through all the banning, the bombing, the banner was still there. The banner is a flag, right? Or the land of the free and the home of the brave. I think black people were still in slavery during that time. The Emancipation Proclamation didn't come till about 70 years later, something like that, or 60 years later. If you didn't understand the Star Spangled Banner, I'm explaining it to you now. Okay? Because some people just hear it and don't understand what it means. So this is the meaning on it. On the shore dimly. So now these are the verses that are omitted because it's just too darn long. Right? So somewhere along the line, I believe somebody put 1931. It was omitted. So I just want to get to a specific part. On the shore dimly seen through the mist of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes. So now, remember, the British were on the bay, in the deep, in the water, where the foe's haughty host, the British was the foes, he calling them haughty, and dread silence reposes. They were in silence because the flag did not force, quote unquote. What is that which the breeze, so ere the tyrant steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines in the stream. 'Tis the star-spangled banner, O long may it wave, O ere the land of the free and the home of the brave. So basically it's all about the flag. This is, the whole song is about the flag. Now this is the third verse. Excuse me, because I have to drink something. And where is that band who is vauntingly soar, who so vauntingly soar, that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country shall leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling, enslaved from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. No refuge could save the hireling and slave. So the original Star-Spangled Banner gave us a shout out, our forefathers a shout out, but as slaves, because we surely wasn't hirelings, we were still working for free. Black people were still slaves. Now you see why they eliminated certain parts from the Star-Spangled Banner that Francis Scott Key wrote during that time, 1814, because he was being brutally honest. We were still slaves during that time. From the terror of flight or gloom of the grave, and the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph doth wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Or thus be ever when free men shall stand between their loved home and war's desolation. Free men. We weren't free men at that time. We were slaves. Blessed with victory and peace may the heaven rescued land. Praise the power that have made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, and God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free, of the home of the brave. It's funny to me because how they include God, and they weren't looking at their own evil and wicked ways. and the song that, he covered basically what was going on at that time. Oh goodness, brothers and sisters, we get to see the idiocy and the things that people do. Oh boy, that's crazy. All right, let's see some of the comments here. I hope that was educational. Does anyone did anyone learn anything tonight from what I just brought? Did you know about all these things, or you weren't aware of some of these things? We shouldn't stand for it because we are not free in this land. Never was and never will be. And it's against Torah to follow the ways of other nations. Okay, good answer. That band were the black soldiers. If you read the book of Negroes, a lot of our people fight with the British because they promised us free, where the colonists told us we'll be slaves. I only knew the first verse. Wow. We joined with the Brits because they promised us freedom. so that we're not really fighting for our freedom. Not everyone, but a lot of blacks did, especially the free blacks. You see, so it sparks conversation. So in terms of Torah, this is what we see now. There's reasons why we don't support it, why we don't stand, why we feel the way that we feel as black people, because of the things that are happening and the things that continue to happen. One of the things being that the atmosphere that a candidate like Donald Trump sets in the midst of people, which is just an evil and wicked atmosphere to where racism is out overtly. And the Most High God said that he will repay those that touch his anointed, right? He said, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. And those people that put their hands on God's anointed, the Most High God will repay them. So we still live in a land that, although it offers a lot more opportunities, because we could be living in worse situations, I believe, still have a ways to go because of the way that they treat God's people. There's still inequalities in the things that they do, and our forefathers built this country with blood, sweat, and tears. Our forefathers were the ones that fought in every war that this country had. Our country was, I said our country. Our forefathers were the ones who bled and suffered and went through everything and were promised all types of things, and it did not happen. You know, we do not get our fair share in this place. When the national unemployment rate is at 4.8%, the black unemployment rate is about 10%. So we still not getting our just due because of this white entitlement and, you know, these racist practices that's going on in America today. I don't believe that all, you know, Caucasian people are bad. I don't think all Caucasian people are bad. I always say this. You know, during the time of the Harriet Tubman, right? When she was freeing, when the Underground Railroad, some of those tracks were white stops, white people's houses that didn't believe in that. So you got white people that died in the civil rights movement fights also. So God don't program us to be, we're not, how do you say, we're not inherently racist. We're not like that. The Most High God said, he tells us, he said, treat the stranger as one of you, as yourself. So we have to be very careful with those. But those who hate me, I hate you with the fervor of no return, with a burning fire. So if you hate me, I hate you. And I don't care what color you are. So America is not really doing all that it could do for the people who've been here the longest, with the pilgrims that came here, with the people that's been here the longest, besides the Native Americans, which is us. Everybody comes here and surpasses us, but that's part of prophecy also. So, and when events like this keep happening, when things like let's see, got something else here, but I'm going to read this. I don't know if y'all knew about this, and this is why the Most High God has to judge people, because of things like this. And I want you to just bear with me. I hope that you're being edified tonight. I sent this to myself, a couple of articles. I don't know if you guys heard of this, right? I got this from the Delaware News. and this coincides with what I'm saying with the atmosphere of the nation and the kind of hate mongering that's being perpetrated in the political arena. You know, amongst, you know, with a candidate that's encouraging all types of violence, you know, just by the things that he's saying. So now, man 19 shot to death in Bear was DSU student. This is from July 12th, 2016. Now, this is a young man, Malcolm Evans, I believe is his name. Bear, Delaware. 19-year-old man shot to death Saturday near the entrance to the Rutledge development. Was a student of Delaware State University, the Newcastle County Police said Monday. This is in Delaware. Malcolm Evans had left his home in the 600 block of Country Path Drive to go to work when a single gunshot was fired into his car in the first block of Baywatch Road, striking him in the upper body. He lost control of the vehicle and crashed, police said Monday. Evans was found to have been shot about 4 a.m. when a Delaware State Police trooper was investigating the crash. He was taken by ambulance to Christina Hospital in Stanton, where he died on Sunday afternoon. County Police spokeswoman Captain Tracy Duffy said a witness saw several males in the vicinity of the shooting, but they fled before officers arrived. She said investigators are trying to establish a timeline of events and asked anyone with surveillance images of the area to call police at 302-573-2800. Tips also may be submitted anonymously through Delaware Crime Stoppers, which offers rewards. Blah, blah, blah. So this happened July 12th, it says here. So now, this is a young man that was shot and killed. Murdered. No reason, going to work. Now, this is an update to the story. Woman arrested in fatal shooting of DSU student. Police have arrested a woman in the connect. This is from, let me give you the day here. Does it? I believe it's like August 25th. No, 2 days ago, which is August 31st, right? Police have arrested a woman in connection with the death of a Delaware State University student. Police said there is no known connection between the victim and Cheryl Jennings. The victim was Evans, right? Now Cheryl Jennings is the one who they arrested. A woman who lives in the same community of Rutledge as 19-year-old Delaware State University student Malcolm Evans has been arrested and charged in connection with the July shooting that killed him as he drove to work. The Newcastle County Police Department announced Friday that Cheryl Jennings, 46, was charged with first-degree murder and weapons charges. Over the last 6 weeks, my family, friends have spent so many sleepless nights wondering who and why someone will commit such an unspeakable crime against such an amazing young man, said Evans' mother, Terry. Thank God for giving everyone the strength to pursue this individual involved on a daily basis. Few details about the reason for the shooting were available Friday since the indictment charging Jennings is sealed as police continue to investigate. Police Chief Colonel E.M. Setting did say the victim and defendant do not appear to know each other despite living in the same neighborhood in Bear. This arrest by no means marks the end of our involvement of the end of this investigation, Setting said. It does, however, provide so much needed closure to the family and community. Police have been searching for a suspect since Evans was shot on July 9th and died the next day. Evans was leaving his home in the 600 block of County Path Drive to go to work when at about 4 a.m. a single shot was fired into his black BMW, hitting him in the upper body, police said. He then lost control of the vehicle, crashing his car near the entrance of Rutledge, according to police. A witness at the scene of the crash told police there were several men in the area, but they left before emergency personnel arrived, authorities say. So, that's what we're dealing with, people. And this is why people will continue to not stand up for, it's the atmosphere that is being set in the nation. Why people feel the way that they do. With the gentleman who's running for president under the Republican Party banner. So, white woman, this Jennings woman is a white woman, and the 19-year-old young man was a young black male. Shot him for no reason. Where does that come from? How does that happen? Then there was another shooting, I believe, in Mississippi, where a man shot 12 times into a black woman, a white man, with a criminal record. I think, is it Ohio or Mississippi? One of those places. Shot 12 times into the vehicle. So the atmosphere is being set for these type of things to happen. The Most High God told us that we will go into captivity because of the things that we did. These people went too far. We have to get closer to our God. One of the things that I would like us to do is this. Do more research. Let us stop screaming and yelling at things and not be informed. Dr. Martin Luther King said something that I hear every day. I listen to XM radio, and there is a XM channel 126 every morning from 6 to 10. Those of you that might have it, there is a host by the name of Joe Madison. Know him. Very good show. He always, a lot of the stuff that I've been getting lately, I get it from him, because there's like black people just call there, and they have all this. It's like the hub, when things are happening in the neighborhood, anywhere in the nation. Joe Madison, he has the information there because he has the black audience. So, ignorance, he always says this, and he gets it from Dr. Martin Luther King. It says, to be conscientiously ignorant is dangerous. You see, you could be ignorant from just not knowing. That's okay. That's okay. But when you are conscientiously ignorant, then something is definitely wrong with you. That means that you're ignorant and you don't care. So we need to become more aware. We need to study more. We have to research more. Some people don't like to read. Force yourself to read. Force yourself to understand. These are things that we need to grow as a nation for God to save us. Understanding is crucial, because understanding is what helps us to build, to grow, and to move forward, and not to get stuck on things that really don't help us. We have these arguments as Israelites, and you got people doing this type of stuff to us. We got much more bigger fish to fry. And we have to be aware of that. Unless anyone has anything else to say, I think we pretty much covered a lot tonight. Hope that y'all been edified. Hope that every time you come on this channel on Friday night and on Shabbat, that you would have learned something. That you would have gotten a new understanding of something. Don't forget us tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and we pick it up later from 6:30 p.m. to sundown Eastern Time. We will be having Shabbat services for every one of you. Don't forget to continue to support us in every which way that you can. That the Most High God will bring you all understanding and blessings on this holy Shabbat day. May everyone have a good night of sleep. And may I see all of you in the morning in good health. And that the Most High God will bless you all. Shalom, shalom, and have a good night. Laila Tov.